So what exactly is the Camino de Santiago and why should you walk it? That's what we're talking about this week, coming right up. So someone recently asked on the channel, they were trying to explain the Camino to their spouse, to their partner, and I think they were hoping that I was going to put a video together, so here it is. If you're thinking of walking the Camino, and maybe you're not sure of exactly what it is, but more likely you've kind of picked up on it, you feel drawn to walk it, and someone in your life is sort of saying, why do you want to do that? Maybe they're thinking of coming with you, or maybe they think it's a bit strange that you're going to go off and do this thing. So this video maybe would be handy to show them in terms of this is kind of what it is in a nutshell. So I'll try not to waffle, I'll try and keep to the point. So exactly what is the Camino de Santiago? Well, it's an ancient pilgrimage route. Mainly people walk it in Spain. They walk to Santiago de Compostela on the northwest coast of Spain, where it's said lie the bones of St. James in a crypt underneath the cathedral there. And there are many, many different routes all the way through Europe that end up in Santiago. I think there are something like 262 routes. If I've got that number wrong, do comment down below. But there are probably 12, 13, 14 really popular routes that people know about: the Camino Frances, the Portuguese, the English, the Primitivo, the Norte, Le Puy, which starts up in France. People walk from Paris. And it's this ancient 1,000-year-old Christian pilgrimage route where everyone's walking to the bones of St. James in Santiago. And it's been going on for a really long time. And then it kind of fell off in the Middle Ages, and then it had a resurgence in the 70s, 60s and 70s. I won't sort of go into too much of the history there, but the parish priest at Otebrero along the Camino Frances decided he was going to try and make the Camino popular again and started marketing it, I guess. And it certainly grew from there. Now it's extremely popular with close to 500,000 people a year walking it, most on the Camino Frances. So it did have this strong Christian foundation. I'm told even before then it was a pagan pilgrimage route because it follows the Milky Way. So there you go, there's a lot of a significant amount of history behind it. So why do people walk it? People walk it for many different reasons. And I would say, without sort of trying to be too judgmental here or to push you in a particular direction, it's not just a hike. I mean, to put that in perspective, I don't hike at home. I don't really have much of an interest in hiking. It doesn't seem to sort of serve much of a purpose for me. The Camino, totally different thing, because that is a hike with a very deep sense of purpose. And that's why I love it so much. So why do I walk it? Why do so many other people walk it? It's a chance really to unplug from your day-to-day life, to live a very simple life. You'll often hear people say it's all about walk, eat, sleep, repeat. Your life is really boiled down to the most simple form it can be. Most people just carry all their possessions in a pack. You really don't need much. And that's one of the lessons that you get from walking a Camino, I think, is that we carry around with us so much stuff, so much baggage, emotionally and physically. And to walk however far you're going to walk on the Camino, a lot of people walk 800 Ks, some might walk 100, some might walk 2,000, 3,000. But whatever distance you walk, you learn that you really don't need much. You just need a change of clothes, a toothbrush, literally, a few euros in your pocket, and off you go. And the wonderful thing about it is that it's relatively easy to walk because, particularly on the more popular routes, there's lots and lots of accommodation along the way, all different types of accommodation. There's lots of places to get food. Particularly on the popular routes, like the most popular one, the Camino Frances, you'll find in all the towns and villages they provide what they call pilgrim meals, which is a very economical 3-course meal. You'll find economical accommodation for as little as 10 euros. You can get a bed. And so you can adopt this very simple life, and it's almost like a walking meditation for however long you can spare to walk the Camino. I always say to people, try to walk for at least 7 or 10 days. It's not so much about the distance for me, but I think it's about easing into it, starting to enjoy the journey. You know, initially it can be a little bit of a physical challenge and an emotional challenge, and once you settle into it, it's really quite blissful. And that, I think you need to allow yourself 7 or 10 days for that to happen. So I wouldn't be jumping in there and sort of just walking for 5 days and say, well, nothing happened. You didn't give it long enough. So, you know, what are the reasons do people walk the Camino? I'll be open. I walked my first one in 2015 because I was just getting totally burnt out at work. I'd been on the treadmill. I'd been working flat out for, how old was I on my first one? 57. So I'd been working for 40 odd years, flat out, head down, and kind of got to the point of wondering really what life was all about. You know, is this what life is? Just, you know, working 50, 60 hours a week and trying to provide for those around you, and maybe not enjoying life as much as some people. And, you know, a lot of people maybe go through that and think, I need to take time out, or maybe they've gone through loss and they're grieving and they want to try and reprioritize things in their lives and think about what's really important to them. The Camino is amazing for that, because you're spending all day out in nature, just walking, and you get into this walking meditation, the sort of crunch, crunch, crunch of your feet, and just thinking and absorbing everything around you, listening to the birds, you know, the animals around you, meeting people from all over the world. You get fantastic different perspectives from people. And the incredible thing about it is that everybody is literally walking the same path as you, quite literally, to the same place, but for a vast range of different reasons. And hearing some of the stories of the other pilgrims, it's, for many, I think, the best part of the Camino. You really engage with other people, you learn about other people. It helps you put your own issues in perspective. It's really, it's like a sort of mobile retreat, I guess. It really is an incredible thing. So that sense of community is extremely important, I think, for a lot of people walking a Camino. Having said that, I walked that popular one, the Camino Frances, 3 times, and then decided to branch out to a more remote one, because I really enjoyed the odd periods on the Frances where I was totally alone for hours on end. And so after that I walked a more remote one, not by no means the most remote, but the Via de la Plata from Sevilla in the south of Spain. I loved that because I think I walked for 7 days before I even met another pilgrim. I mean, I met people in the villages along the way, locals and things, but I think it was 7 days before I met another pilgrim. And so that, just walking all day in nature and reflecting and thinking about everything in your life, you know, it's such an amazing experience. And for most of us, we don't get that opportunity at home. So I think lastly, I'd say it's a very grounding experience. Now this is going to be a little bit controversial, because you might be talking to someone about walking the Camino and they want to go with you. It might be a friend, it might be a partner. That's tricky, and in fact I'm going to do a video next about walking with other people. My wife was going to come with me on the very first one, but due to sort of family reasons she couldn't, and she kind of pressed on me that I should go on my own and kind of walk for both of us, if you like. That was such a profound experience, and I've walked with her a couple of times. I've walked alone a few times. It's very different. If you're going to walk with someone, a good friend, a partner, just be aware that they might be walking for different reasons, and they might want to walk a Camino in a slightly different way. Maybe they have different expectations. So think about that and talk to them if they're going to be walking with you. But I think for most people, I'd be interested. Comment down below if you've walked a Camino alone and with people. Which did you find the most powerful, the most transformative? For me, it would have to be walking alone. That's not to say I'm lonely. Please don't think that. I love to walk alone and basically not have to have any responsibility or decision making and have to take other people into account. But I'm rarely actually alone. I meet other pilgrims. I'm talking to the locals along the way. On my last Camino, as an example, I walked for 60 days. I think out of that, I probably walked 30 of them with other pilgrims. that I met along the way. But I didn't set out with anyone else. I set out on my own. So there we go. What is the Camino? Sorry if I waffled on a bit, but just trying to explain a little bit about what it is and why it draws so many of us back time and time and time again. If you're planning your first one, bon Camino.